Okay, so we have opened the concept, right? And then what I want to do is I want to create the two components. First I'm going to create one component, and then we will think about second component. To create first component, what I can do is I will go to I'll go to right click on this. Okay, otherwise yeah, let us go to this base folder, and then I will go to this particular component, this particular command prompt. Here in the command prompt, in this sample 8 project, I'm going to write the command. This is the command line. Okay, command, right? Here I'm going to say ng new component, sorry, not ng, generate component. The component name I would like to provide table component. So if I say table, a table component is going to get generated. So of course, by default already app component has already created, and then we ran the server. Okay, so we ran the server. Okay, we ran the server, so we can open the browser and we can see that just default page. We can see default page 4200. This is a default page available. Now what I want to do, I will go to the app component, and I will go to app component HTML, and I would like to remove existing code. Here I'm going to call app hyphen. Okay, I want to call, by default we have created a component, right? Sorry, we have created table component, right? The table component selector is app table. Yeah, you can come here and then you can provide app table component. So this is the app, we are calling this simply. Okay, from the, okay, what is that meaning? Two components from app component, from the main default component we are calling table component. Right now we are calling table component. Just go to the UI, and it is saying what, in the table component also just we have provided this information, default information is available. Now I'll go to the table. Let us go to the table HTML. Here in the HTML, I don't want this table and all. What I want to provide, you can take, oh, sorry. I have created table component. Huh? Okay, now let it be, guys. Let it be table. We are going to work with this table later. First of all, I want to create a form component where user can enter the data and all. Yeah, let me create another component. Table component is also going to help us. I'm going to use table component later. Now I'm going to generate ng generate component. What is that? Form component. Yeah, let's say form com. Okay, I'm going to say form component. If I say just form maybe form classes may be available in the, you know, in the default packages. That's why I don't want to take the class name form. I would like to take a form com. Okay, it has generated. This is also generated. Now let us go to the app component. Within the app table, what I want to do, I don't want to call app table right now. I want to call app form component. Okay, so app component, and then, you know, just close the table component right now. You can go to the app component HTML, and yeah, so here in the form component I want to take a form. See here, guys, you can see the form, and then you can see maybe like yeah. So when you are working with form, if you have okay, if you take normal form, it is not going to give you good UI. For that, what you can do, guys, you can provide a better UI using Bootstrap. Okay, because of course there is Bootstrap classes are available, so that I'm going to use Bootstrap classes. Okay, before going to that, I want to show you related to Bootstrap how form elements are going to be displayed. Okay, form Bootstrap. Yeah, let us go to that, and then you can see better UI over here. So that's why I'm going to install the, you know, this one. Okay, just I have drafted somewhere. Okay, of course I need to do these steps again. Okay, meanwhile, okay, I'm going to show you these things, form details. Of course I have started installing Bootstrap and all. Meanwhile, what I will do is I will show you how forms looks like. If you take normal forms, it is not going to display, you know, this approach. See here guys, so here using this kind of form group and these things, okay, the UI is going to okay, display very rich. Okay, UI will be very rich, so that, okay, I'm going to use, okay, Bootstrap provided CSS classes for displaying form. All right. Okay, to do so, I have to install the CSS, right? So Bootstrap CSS I need to install. What are the steps we have? Of course, two steps. The first step is installing commands. I have to install. We have to execute the commands related to Bootstrap, okay, jQuery and Popper. Why means, just tell me about this one. Bootstrap depends on Popper.js and jQuery. That's why before installing Bootstrap, first I'm installing jQuery and then Popper.js, as well as Bootstrap, you know, CSS and all. Even of course we can use icons also, guys. Okay, icons. We can work with icons also. Okay, no problem. We can see those icons. Okay, little bit later in the course. Okay, so now second step is also available, right? Second step is also executed. Now let us execute the third step. If you execute the third step, okay, then installations is going to be done, and then the next step is providing. We have to go to the, we have to go to Angular JSON, and all I need to do what? Okay, see here guys, just to provide styles and okay, this is, okay, styles. Okay, something went wrong. Okay, yeah, maybe provide like this, and then Alt Shift F for this one. Okay, somebody raised the hand. Yeah, do you have any query? Okay, screen is not visible. 1 second. Resume record. And then I have provided this one, and then this installation is also done. Okay, once after installing, my suggestion is, okay, restart the server, stop the server and restart the server. Okay, not only Bootstrap, we are going to install so many things later. Okay, related to HTTP client and related to NGRX, related to, okay, few other things. Okay, when we are working with those things, okay, whatever thing you are installing related to Angular and all, if your application is running, stop the application and restart it, so that new installations are going to get affected without side effects. Okay, without side effects it is going to, okay, fine. The coming to the thing, which thing we are talking about? Yes, form, right? Yeah. Okay, let us go to the, okay, form. What I can do is I'm going to take one of the, okay, whatever you want you can take it. Yeah, let us look at it guys. So this is the information. Okay, multiple things are there. Of course, let us go to very simple thing. Okay, even I want to take very simple form. I don't, yeah, of course we have a separate classes related to forms and form validations also. Now we are not dealing with the complete form related stuff. Okay, so this is something related to input and output. Yes, I'm introducing the form, and then we are working with the input and output. Okay, let us go to this thing where it is form component HTML. Form component HTML. Instead of taking this one, let us take the form that I have copied from the website. Okay, even I don't want this check boxes and all. I just want to take email address and password, something is there, right? Okay, first let us check it out. If you go to here, yes, see here guys, this information is provided like this. Okay, and then what I want to do is okay, uh, I want to take another one, email address, phone number and password. Let us take one more check, one more text box. To take one more text box, what you can do, Yeah, take like this. Okay, even this information is not required for me. Okay, we will never share your email id, something like this, right? You can remove this part also. I don't want that particular part. Okay, I don't want that particular part. All I want to do is, yeah, provide this information. Here I ask user to provide phone number, and then type is email, right? The type is we can like number. Okay, you can take number. So this, okay, this is password, and this is email. Okay, even the password is also I'm going to take text. Okay, why? Because I want to make it visible. If I take type password, it is not going to get visible. Okay, this is simple thing. I'm not doing email and password validation and all. Just I want to take some information from the user. Okay, see here, guys. These are the things available. Okay, now what I can do, one more thing is, here anyways here enter email is available. Then why should I take email address and password here, the same thing, phone. See here, guys. Yeah, instead of providing here the label, I don't want the label. That is what I'm trying to tell. If you don't want to provide label, and yeah, see here, guys, you can remove this. Okay, yeah, and check it out how it looks like. So it is going to looks like this. Okay, so something, if you want to provide a label, yes, you can provide the label. Okay, not a problem. And one more thing is, if you take this text box, placeholder is nothing but enter email. Is it's a placeholder, right? Where it is going to display, it is going to display in the UI here. See here, guys. Here also it is saying enter email. Why? Because we have copied code from this. Okay, UI part I just copied, right? That's why still it is available in the email. What I need to do, this is nothing but placeholder. Go to the placeholder related, go to the placeholder related to this phone text box, and then go to here, and then say instead of saying email address, I would like to provide phone. Enter phone, or enter phone. Okay, fine. So this is a simple thing. Along with that, yeah, of course we have the submit button here. Okay, submit button. All right, yeah, check this out. This is a simple component. Okay, now what I can do, you can take whole this information. Okay, let us go to the app component, and what you can do is, you can, okay, you can provide some, okay, div, and then you can do something like this, guys. And then you can say class equal to container. So container, so it is going to looks like, okay, like this. All right, so this is looking like this. Check it out, guys. This is looking like this. Okay, now our goal is, okay, I want to enter the data. Of course, user is going to enter the data into this text boxes, and user is going to click on this submit button. Whenever user clicks on this submit button, whatever data user has entered, this data has to come to the parent. It has to come to the parent. Okay, it has to come to the parent component. Parent component is app component. Here in our case, parent component is app component. The data should come to the parent component, app component. To do so, what I can do is app component. Okay, go to the form component.html. Here in the form component.html, now I want to take these values, right? Okay, whatever values user has entered, you have to take these values, and then you have to, okay, you have to take the values entered by the user. First of all, this data has to go to where? Okay, whatever data user has entered, this data has to go to the, okay, next okay, place, guys, in the you mean component. Okay, how can we take this data? Okay, how can we take this data? Okay, let's of course this is not simple thing right now. Okay, if you want to work if you know the concept of two-way binding, then it is easy, guys. Actually, now we don't know the concept of two-way binding. Now, without knowing two-way binding, we have to bring the data from this form to, okay, form component class. Okay, of course we have easier way to read the data, but sometimes why I'm showing you this approach means, okay, there is some instances where this kind of code is going to be available in your applications, in your projects. So that if you don't know this kind of syntax, even though it is difficult, okay, bit difficult than two-way binding, guys, but don't feel like this is completely difficult. Okay, so our goal is reading the data first. Our goal is whatever data user has entered, okay, in this form, we need to get the data to, okay, where, guys, form component.ts file. Okay, we have to go to the ts file. Now think about only one component now. Okay, think about only one component. What is that? Which component we are talking about? Form component now. Okay, user entered by the, okay, data entered by the user will goes to first use form component class. I want to, okay, so I would like to, okay, send it to form component. So how can we send it form component now? Okay, so let us go to the concept. Okay, let us go to here, guys. What I can do, I'm going to show you few things. I'll show you few things, guys. Here the new concept I'm going to show you today, that is of course very simple. Okay, so, okay, that is, let me close unnecessary things first. I would like to open only form component html and then form component ts file. Okay, ts file. And you can, how many text boxes are there? Three text boxes, so that you can take three properties. Okay, three properties, or you can take a json also. Okay, you can take a json value also, only one property. Okay, so let me take like properties. What are the three properties? Let us take three properties. What are the three properties? Okay, you can see this: email, password, and phone. Okay, so that email, password, semicolon is not compulsory. In Java, semicolon is compulsory for each line. Phone. Okay, if you want to provide, yeah, you can provide semicolon over here. Yeah, first I'm going to take the properties. So, and then I'm going to take the JSON also, no problem. I will definitely take the JSON also. Why? Because we have to know how to work with JSON, because JSON is very, very important. In real time, we use JSONs only, okay, for this kind of activities. Okay, if you take email, password, and phone, these are the three properties, right? Okay, I want to take the data. Yeah, let us go to here, guys. I have taken the three properties, right? Now, my goal is, if user entered into this particular text box, I have to send this data to, okay, I have to send this data entered into this particular property, okay, into this text box. Okay, this text box is related to email, right? So that the data should go to, okay, the data should goes to email, and then, okay, 1 second, yeah. So if I, yeah, now whatever data user has entered in this text box, it has to go to email. The same way, whatever data entered into this password has to go to this property, and then whatever data entered for this text box has to go to, okay, so it has to go to this phone number. Okay, that is our goal. Okay, we have to set the data to here. How can we need to do some coding part here? Very simple code that I'm going to show you. So today I'm going to introduce to transfer the data, okay, from HTML to component class. Okay, to transfer the data from HTML to component class. I already introduced the concept of dollar event. If you remember that, you can use dollar event also. And today I'm going to, okay, show you another approach. Okay, I'm going to show you another approach. Instead of using dollar, I have another variable like template reference variable. Okay, that is template reference variable. See here, guys, that is a very simple thing. Template reference variable, how you can do it means, okay, for every input box. Okay, let me, okay, see here, guys, what I want to do, I want to take a template reference variable. So ash, which things starts with ash, that can be called as template reference variable. I'm going to take email. Okay, this is what, this is a template reference variable. Okay, meaning that this reference is going to get okay, this is going to become a variable. Okay, this will be, okay, act as a variable now. Okay, you can use this variable latter part of the code. Okay, this is a variable. This variable is going to, okay, related to Angular, so that this will be useful in the Angular code. Okay, in the expressions or whatever you want, you can provide it. Okay, just I have, yeah, first I'm going to show you what is Ash email. Okay, so this is a, you can take email, can be anything, guys. Okay, email means, okay, email ID. Okay, whatever you want, you can take it. The variable name can be anything, but make it, okay, append with the prepend with. Okay, so Ash. Okay, Ash, and then this is a variable. And the next thing is, okay, whenever you say this email ID Ash, okay, let us go to whenever you see email ID. Okay, whenever you see this email ID, now let us look at it, guys. If I provide email ID, how can you use this variable means? Okay, let me, okay, use like this, guys. So otherwise I'm going to, next to the text box, after the text box, yeah, try to use this email ID here. Just look at it, guys. It is not giving error. Why? Because it is recognized as a variable. If I provide like this is going to give you error because this variable is not there. If I provide email ID property is there. Actually, if you go to the component class, I did not provide, yeah, I have provided email ID. Yeah. Go to that form component. This is email only. Okay, this is email only. But here, what I have provided email ID. So this is what email ID. Okay, there is no, okay, yeah, something, yeah, just to look at it, guys. We have taken email ID, but I did not take any email ID in the component class. But here, email ID is a template reference variable. This is also act as a variable. Okay. Okay, if I provide like this, how it is going to display, just look at it, guys. Okay, now go to here. Yeah, so this is what object HTML input element. This is the object. That's why it is displaying like this. Okay, so now what I can do is email ID dot value. We can say email ID dot value because this is a HTML element object. Okay, HTML input element object. Input element object contains a property called value. Okay, what you can do, email ID dot value, so that it is going to display, okay, value. So let's look at it. See here, guys, something, you can take this value. Okay, you can take this value. Actually, how I'm going to take this value, I'm going to tell you, okay, in the next thing. But make sure that if I take something email, okay, if you take something email ID, and if you provide Ash, this is a, okay, this is a new concept I just have introduced, okay, today only for you people. I have introduced, okay, template reference variable just now. Okay, now that's why I'm going to give you more explanation about this. Okay, example ID, but I don't want to use it as it is like this. Okay, what I will do is, okay, whenever you click on this one, see, okay, here, now what I want to do is, let's look at it, guys. If user clicks on this, click even, I want to call a method get data or send data method. Okay, and then while sending, what I want to do, I want to provide this variable. What is this? Email ID. I want to provide the email ID. See here, guys, I want to provide email ID object. It's not value, this is input element object, because we have provided this template reference variable for the input box, so that it will send input object, DOM object. You are sending DOM object. Okay, next go to take the send data. Okay, and then go to the template form component class, not spec class. Okay, this is the class, and then provide a method. See here, guys, there we are going to get some element, right? Element object. Okay, see here, guys, what is this element object? And what you can do, you can say, okay, so console dot, see here, guys, what I will do, console dot log dot element. It's an element, it's not value. Okay, we have applied, okay, a template reference variable and template reference variable object we are provide sending element dot, there is you know, target. Okay, so this has target and you can say value. See here guys, this element has some target object and then you can say value. Let's look at it, how it is going to display. And okay, so what I did, we are receiving the element object. From the element object, whatever dot you say value, okay, whatever value you have provided, that particular value is going to get printed in the console. Okay, value is going to get printed in the console. Okay, so now this send method is going to be called from where? In the HTML, right? We are sending email ID now. So whatever data you are sending, okay, what's happening is here, okay, element and then value. What you need to do, this value has to provide it to email, this dot email to element dot, okay, element dot value. See here guys, I don't want to print in the console, but whatever element we are getting, from that element we need to read the value. Okay, yeah, see here guys, this is how we can do it. Now coming to the here, and then the same way what I want to do, I want to send the data. To send the data of password for the same way, for the password the same way, I would like to apply same. What is this password? You can take a okay, variable. This variable can be called as template reference variable. Okay, this is what template reference variable. And let us go to here, this template variable reference. You can take what is this phone number, right? You can say phone number. Now when user clicks on this, what you can do is you can provide email ID and then what, provide the references, template reference variables. Okay, this one, and then go to the phone. Okay, see here guys, this is a phone. So simply you can take like this, send the data, and then you can provide like this. Okay guys, this is going to be something like this information: send the data, email ID, password and phone, password and phone. Okay, password and phone. Okay, whatever information, email ID, okay, password and phone. All right guys, this is going to be something like click. This is going to be something like what, send data. This is going to be something like what, these are the reference variables, three reference variables, template reference variables. Remember that template reference variable. Go to the send data method, and we need to receive three things. Now what are the three things? Three elements we need to receive. First one is what, instead of taking element, just to recognize, first one is what, email, okay, template reference variable, and password template reference. Okay, naming conventions, whatever you want, you can use it guys. Okay, phone template reference. See here guys, these are the three template reference variables we are getting from the user. And what I can do is, yeah, for the email template reference variable of value, and this is what, this dot password equal to what you can do, password template reference dot value. Okay, the same way this dot phone equal to, okay, phone template reference dot value. Okay, okay, these are the three things that we have. Just for confirmation, what I can do, I can say console dot log email, okay, this dot password, and then this dot phone. Whether data is received or not, just I want to check in the console. Okay, using the concept of console dot log. All right, yeah, coming to here, and then provide some email ID. Okay, some data, password, and then phone number. Click on submit. See here guys. Oh, submit something doing. Okay. Okay, fine. Actually, it is getting submitted. Fine, one second, guys. Let us go to the HTML form. HTML form. This is a type submit, right? Don't take type submit. Let us take just only button or type button. Okay, if I take submit, what happens? It is going to get submitted. Means the page is going to get refreshed. Okay, I don't want that data. I don't want to happen like that. Okay. Okay, just click on this one. See here, guys. The data got printed in the console. So whatever data user has entered, okay, this data is coming to in this particular okay console. And one more thing, of course, this is not the final thing. Uh, I really want to tell you the concept of template reference variable, and how can you use template reference variable is also, that is very, very important. Of course, the same template reference variables can be used in different approach also. Okay, so we have some other applications, okay, where we are going to use template reference variables, okay, to read element HTML structure and all. That we'll see that later. Okay, that is not the this is not the last place where we are going to use okay, template reference variable. We keep use template reference variable wherever it is required. And coming to here, instead of, okay, here what I want to do is, instead of taking email ID, password, this thing, I want to take a JSON object. So see here, guys, since I don't want to take these variables, what I would like to do is, let us comment this code. Okay, just for reference purpose, when I send this code to you, okay, this code is going to be reference for you, for you people. That's why I'm not completely erasing the code. I just commented the code. You can refer that code whenever you want. Here I'm going to take JSON data, and JSON is an object, that's it. Okay, so this information is related to user. To tell that this is a JSON, you can provide like this, guys. So you can assign, if you are assigning some JSON object, then this user object is going to become a JSON. Now what you can do is, yeah, see here, guys, this dot user dot email ID. See here, guys, actually this user has no email ID, right? You can take, it's not available. Okay, and then yeah, just yeah, provide just user. If you provide it, it is going to expect some data. Otherwise, just provide like this, guys. Just provide like this. Okay, but thing is, if you provide like this, sometimes what happens, this is going to be null, right? And what I can do is, I'm going to provide here, okay, multiple approaches. A structured approach is also available. You can take a Pojo kind of class here. Okay, even we can take a Pojo kind of class in this particular, okay, TypeScript. Okay, you can use that also. Okay, maybe you may provide like email ID. See here, guys, email ID. By default, no data available. Let's look at it, guys. No data. By default, I'm going to take what? Blank data. Everything is blank data. And phone will be, see here, guys, this is a blank data I have taken. Blank data I have assigned. These are the keys and these are the, okay, values. Keys and values I have provided. Now what I can do, I want to take this data. Yeah, let me do it, okay, separately. Okay, this is okay. Now here, what I want to do is, okay, sorry. Okay, remove this code, and then I need to set the data. I'm taking JSON data. Okay, so instead of separate properties, what I will do, user dot, user means this is a property, right? So that this dot user dot, this contains email ID. This contains what? Email ID. Email ID is coming from what? Email ID template reference variable. Okay, see here, guys, email ID template reference variable dot value. Okay, so this is a one step you can take. The second thing is this dot Okay, this dot user dot password equal to email or template reference dot value. You can take like this. The same way, okay, email, I mean user dot phone equal to phone template reference dot value, so that whatever yeah, see here, what is this? Okay, sorry, instead of email template reference, you need to say password template reference variable. Okay, now whatever data user has entered, okay, see here guys, user is going to enter, okay, whatever user has entered the data, okay, see here guys, in these text boxes user is going to enter, right? This data is going to be set into where? This JSON. Okay, JSON data is, in this email ID, what happens, this email ID, the data is going to be set. Now for the password, what happens, this data is going to come. For the phone number, okay, okay, data is going to come. Fine guys, the phone data is going to come to this JSON. All right guys, this is the code that I have written. Okay, fine. Yeah, fine. So here the data has to come to the JSON, right? And then once the data is available, what I want to do in the send data method, what I would like to do is I would like to say console.log. First I want to log the data. How to log the data? User data. So this dot user. Okay, this is the property, right? We need to use this dot user. Fine. Okay, once after the saving, let us go to the code, and then some data I'm entering, some some kind of information I'm saying. Whenever I submit, see here guys, whenever I print the data in the console, JSON data, if it is JSON data, it is printing keys and values. Okay guys, not just values, it is printing keys and values. Okay guys, this is our JSON data now. Okay, yes, now we are okay comfortable with now reading the data from user and then sending the data to the component class. Now what is the goal? This is all this form data is available in the form component. Now we need to send this data to the parent component. To send the data to the parent component, you know that, okay, we need to use what? Okay, from here component class, what you need to do guys, you need to use the concept of emitter, event emitter. I want to take event emitter. Okay, so user event emitter, it is going to act as a, okay, equal, it is going to act as a event. Okay, it is going to act as a event. So here you can say emitter, event emitter. So make sure that this event emitter is coming from where? It is not coming event, otherwise type it event emitter, event emitter, new event emitter. Okay, create this object. So here, once this object is available, what you can do guys, emit the data. You can emit not just a simple strings guys, you can emit total event emitter dot emit of, okay, total JSON. See here guys, total JSON. Of course this is giving error. Why? Because you need to say this dot. Why? Because event emitter is a property, okay, object level property, and user is also property level property. That's why property level, okay, sorry, object level property. So that's why we need to use this operator. So now we are able to emit the data from child to parent. Here child is form component, parent is app component. Okay, of course, okay, the better practice is this event is going to act as a output, so that make it output. Okay, so make it output. This is a decorator, use the decorator output. All right, yeah, once this is available, what you can do is, okay, what you can do is you can use this event emitter in the parent class. Okay, so that whatever event is coming from the child to the parent, okay, parent can able to read the data. So that let us go to the app component. Let us go to the app component class, not app component class. I want to go to app component HTML. Yes. Here I'm calling the app component, app form component, right? This is form component. This is form component. Okay, we are calling the form component. Of course, we are not sending any data to the form component. We are not sending any count. We are not sending any data to the form component. Okay. Here, what I need to do is I need to get the data from form component to app component. For that, we need to use event binding. Because why we need to use event binding? Actually, this is the event. Data is going to come from the child to parent in the form of event. What is the event name? This is the event name. This is user event emitter. This whatever name you have taken, this is the event emitter name. Or you can provide event emitter name also. Okay, if you want to provide different event name, you can provide this event name also. If you don't provide anything, this is the event name. Use this event name here and then provide the method. Provide the method. Okay, so that for this event, what kind of code you want to call? Okay, what kind of method you want to call? Okay, in the parent component. Okay, I want to call data from form component, from form com. Okay, this is a method. You whatever data you want, you can give it. Whenever event is happen, you want to, okay, if you want to get the data, you have to use event. Okay, this is the event, so that the data is going to come from event, is going to come from the child to parent, right? In that event only data is available. That's why this dollar event. Okay, dollar event is nothing but it's a kind of data in our case, JSON. Okay, because we are sending the JSON, right? That JSON is going to be, okay, here the data is, the JSON is going to be set into this event. Now, okay, this, why this is giving error means data from comp method is not available in the app component. Okay, let us go to the app component class now. Okay, app component class now, and I copied the method name that I have provided. Okay, where is it? App component class. You can go to app, not CSS. I'm really sorry. App component class. Yeah, this is the one. App component class. Yeah, here I have to provide the method name, and then okay. See, the data is coming, right? You may take like this event or whatever data or person, whatever thing you want, you can take it. Of course, this is a JSON. Okay, guys, this is going to be the JSON. All right, this is going to be the JSON now. Okay. Okay. So now, yeah, the data came to the JSON, right? Data is going to come to the app component from child to parent, right? First you provide some information in parent, and then okay, say console dot log of print person. Okay, print person. So you can provide a plus person, but actually if you print like this in the same line along with this text, it is going to print object, but I need to print the data inside the object. That's why provide person inside the log separately. Okay, now the data which is printing after the statement, this is statement, which is statement in parent, is reached to app component from the component. Which component? Child component, that is form component. All right, guys, until now. Yeah, see here, guys, now I'm going to provide something slocumtech.com, and then password is going to be something like this. Phone can be something. Yeah, click on this. Yeah, see here, guys, two JSONs are printing. The first JSON is coming from the child component only. There also we are using console.log. In the parent component, what you are saying in parent, and then we are saying what? JSON data. All right, yeah. So the data is came to the parent component. Okay, guys. Now what you can do, guys, you can send this okay, JSON to another component, because okay, whenever we got this data, right? What we can do here, you can send this data, person data to where guys? Child component. Okay, child component. What is the child component here? Another child component. Another, you can take a table component. Okay, you can send this data. Okay, now I don't want to continue this class. Okay, so once after your practice, then I'm going to, okay, do the rest of the task in this story. Okay, whatever story I told you, right? Story means our okay, scenario. The scenario I have explained you, right? Whatever scenario I have explained, that scenario I have done only one part only. Okay, I'm getting data from okay, component, I mean, what component, guys? Form component. I'm getting data from form component to parent component. Now whatever data we are getting, that data can be passed to table component. Okay, that I want to do it in the next okay, step. Okay, until now, you have any doubts, guys?